December 21st, 2025, was supposed to be just another ordinary day at Lincoln High, a day filled with the usual routines, the hum of students, and the anticipation of winter break. The halls were decked out in holiday decorations, and a gentle layer of snow dusted the front steps. But for Jenna Stiles, known to everyone simply as Stiles, this day would become the one that changed everything. It was the day her carefully constructed world imploded, leaving her reeling in ways she never could have imagined. The school hallway buzzed with a strange electric tension. Whispers darted from locker to locker, and every glance seemed loaded with anticipation. Stiles, infamous for her quick temper and sharp tongue, found herself at the very center of it all. Eyes followed her every move, some with curiosity, others with fear. No one expected what was about to unfold, not her closest friends, not her teachers, not even Stiles herself. The air was thick with uncertainty. This wasn't just another episode of high school drama. It was a pivotal moment, a turning point that would ripple through everyone's lives. Stiles stood in the middle of the hallway, fists clenched so tightly her knuckles turned white, anger radiating off her like heat from a flame. Her jaw was set, her eyes blazing. Around her, students formed a loose circle, phones raised, eager to capture every second. They were hungry for drama, oblivious to the real pain and turmoil behind the spectacle. Into this chaos stepped Karen Taylor, a respected staff member known for her calm, practical approach and her ability to diffuse even the most volatile situations. Karen, dressed in her signature green jumpsuit and flip-flops, walked toward Stiles with quiet authority, her presence commanding attention without a word. "Stiles, you need to sit down," she said, her voice steady and unwavering. "Let's talk about what's going on." But Stiles was too far gone, lost in a storm of her own rage and frustration. She barely heard Karen's words, her mind spinning with anger and confusion. Karen's attempt at peace was met with a wall of fury, a shout, a glare, a refusal to back down. The students watched in stunned silence, breath held, as the confrontation reached its breaking point. Every second felt stretched, the tension almost unbearable. In that instant, the hallway transformed into a stage for tragedy, every eye fixed on the unfolding drama. The curtain was about to rise on a moment that no one could ever take back, a moment that would echo long after the day was done. The last shred of normalcy vanished, replaced by a heavy silence and the knowledge that nothing would ever be the same. Everything was about to shatter, leaving only broken pieces behind. Stiles didn't answer with words. She answered with violence. In a flash, she kicked Karen in the face. The sound echoed, silencing the crowd. Karen staggered, blood streaming from her nose, collapsing to the floor. The students, once eager for drama, froze in horror. Phones hung in the air, recording a crime instead of a spectacle. Karen's scream cut through the silence, a mix of pain and disbelief. Blood stained her jumpsuit and the floor, a stark reminder of what anger can do. The hallway, once a place of learning, was now a crime scene. Some students backed away, others just stared, paralyzed. The reality of what had happened settled in. The kick had crossed a line no one could uncross. Chaos erupted. Nothing would ever be the same. At the edge of the crowd, Summer Walker watched her friend Karen fall, her heart pounding in her chest as chaos erupted around them. Shock turned to fury. Summer's protective instincts took over, her anger rising like a tidal wave she couldn't hold back. She pushed through the crowd, eyes blazing with determination, every step fueled by the need to stand up for her friend. "What did you do?" she screamed at Stiles, her voice echoing down the hallway, trembling with emotion. Stiles stood cold and unmoved, her indifference fueling Summer's rage, making the moment feel even more unbearable. Summer, desperate to defend her friend, slipped off her flip-flop and struck Stiles, the slap ringing out above the noise. She hit her again and again, shouting, trying to break through Stiles' wall of anger, her own voice raw with desperation and pain. The scene spiraled out of control. Summer's attack, Stiles' shock, Karen's cries for help. Students scattered, panic spreading like wildfire. Security and police arrived, finally ending the chaos, their presence a stark reminder of how quickly things had escalated. Summer's loyalty had escalated the violence, but it also drew a clear line. Victim, attacker, defender. The roles were set, but the truth felt complicated. The consequences for all three were just beginning as they sat in the office, fear and regret etched on their faces. The school would never forget what happened that day. Whispers and rumors would linger long after the hallway was cleaned. The lines between right and wrong had blurred, leaving everyone questioning their choices and loyalties. The fallout was only starting, and for Summer, Karen, and Stiles, nothing would ever be the same again. Police lights flashed outside Lincoln High as officers entered the chaos. Karen was with paramedics, Summer tried to explain, and Stiles stood defiant, tears of rage on her face. The officers approached Stiles. "You're under arrest," one said. Handcuffs clicked shut. This was no detention. This was real. Stiles was led through the halls, classmates watching in shock and disbelief. The walk of shame had begun. In the police car, Stiles watched her old life disappear in the rearview mirror. The future was now courtrooms, lawyers, and headlines. News of the arrest spread instantly. Videos of the attack went viral. Stiles's name and face were everywhere, branded as a symbol of youth violence. The internet judged her before the courts could. Her reputation was destroyed in minutes. She was no longer just Stiles. She was a cautionary headline. The world she knew was gone. The courtroom was packed, tension thicker than ever. Every seat was filled, and the air buzzed with anticipation and dread, as if everyone present sensed that something unforgettable was about to unfold. Karen Taylor's family sat in grief, their faces etched with sorrow. Stiles, wedged between her lawyers, looked small and lost, her eyes darting nervously as she tried to hold herself together. Karen had died from her injuries, turning the case into a tragedy that weighed heavily on everyone's hearts. The loss was fresh, and the pain in the room was palpable. The judge entered, silence fell like a heavy curtain, and the prosecutor began to recount the brutal attack, his words painting a vivid picture of the night that changed everything. Stiles fidgeted at the defense table, her hands twisting in her lap, rage simmering just beneath her remorseful facade. Her emotions were a storm barely contained. Suddenly she snapped, lunging across the table, screaming, her voice echoing off the walls as chaos erupted. The courtroom was instantly thrown into pandemonium, people gasping and recoiling in shock. Court guards and Summer Walker rushed to restrain her, wrestling her to the ground as she thrashed and shouted, the struggle drawing every eye in the room. In the gallery, Summer's daughters, Leah Marie and Dayanara, laughed at the spectacle, their detached expressions a stark contrast to the seriousness around them, as if they were watching a show rather than a tragedy. Their laughter was a chilling echo in a room full of grief, unsettling those who mourned and deepening the sense of unease. The courtroom, meant for justice and order, became another stage for violence and chaos, its purpose twisted in a single explosive moment. Stiles's outburst sealed her fate, her actions leaving the judge no choice but to act decisively. The tragedy deepened, the consequences multiplied, and the weight of what had happened settled over everyone like a shroud. The line between drama and disaster was obliterated, leaving only confusion and heartbreak in its wake. The cost of rage was now undeniable, its impact etched into the faces and memories of all who witnessed the chaos. After the courtroom chaos, Stiles's fate was sealed. Any hope for leniency vanished. She pleaded guilty, not out of remorse, but defeat. The judge's sentence was swift prison. Stiles was stripped of her identity, given a uniform and black flip-flops, just another inmate. Her digital life was erased. Social media accounts deleted, her past wiped clean. Friends vanished, her online world gone. The final blow. Her athletic career was over. Once a promising athlete, now a convicted felon. No team, no scholarship, no future. Her name was forever linked to violence, not victory. The dreams she'd built were destroyed by her own anger. She lost her freedom, her reputation, her future. Karen Taylor lost her life. The price of rage was total. There was nothing left but regret. Jenna Stiles' story is a brutal warning. One moment of unchecked anger destroyed lives, families, and futures. The promising athlete became a cautionary tale whispered in Lincoln High's halls. Karen Taylor, just doing her job, lost her life to a senseless act. The tragedy was preventable, if only Stiles had chosen to walk away. Now her world is a prison cell, her days identical, her dreams gone. She lives with the knowledge of what she did, haunted by the future she lost. No friends, no social media, no second chances, only regret, and four walls remain. Let this be a wake-up call. Anger doesn't have to control you. There's always a choice. Walk away, ask for help. Stiles chose rage, and the result was irreversible tragedy. Don't let your anger write a story you can never undo.